Welcome to a historic Friday night for football, an NFL game in South America for the very first time. We've got the Packers and the Eagles, and they've each traveled around 5,000 miles to make this game happen and kick off their 2024 seasons amid that amazing atmosphere already taking place in Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Sao Paulo, you ready?
Go, bro.
Let's go!
It's also...
Come on! Yeah! Hey, I'm with the thing now, on the way now, when we coming to take that. You better lay down when we come round, cause you know that we bout that. We came to dominate, came to elevate, came to level up our goals. We on a whole new way, you better clear our way. This is the moment, we have arrived. Ready or not, we making the move, no guts, no glory.
Shout out to the Brazilian producer duo Trop Killers for getting the vibes set in Corinthians Arena in Sao Paulo, Brazil. They're hosting the latest stop in the NFL's travels all abroad. It's pretty fitting, though, that we got Green Bay and Philadelphia, a couple of teams with a ton of history and tradition, incredibly passionate fans, and now they're visiting a brand new country and the first time in South America welcoming the NFL in. And tonight, we're going to see something we haven't seen before. Saquon Barkley in an Eagles jersey. That's right. It was one of the biggest off-season free agency hires, and right now that he's going to be playing for his home team is something special to watch in Brazil. Meanwhile, Jordan Love, all he did was rise to the top as the season went on, able to lead those Packers to the divisional round, and we'll see what he has for us this year in his second year as a full-time starter. All right, it's quite the scene down there in Brazil. Jack, Tony, and Rodney, they've been there experiencing it all week long. Guys, get us set with the vibe.
Oh, I'm dancing.
Maria, it has been amazing to be in Brazil all week, but today there's just a different buzz around this place. We're pulling in. You see Peyton Manning jerseys, Tom Brady jerseys, Patrick Mahomes. Of course, we see a lot of Eagles and Packers. These fans have been waiting on this moment for a long, long time.
Yeah, and it's really crazy down here. You hear the music, just the chanting, everything, and they're really football fans. Up in the stands, hey, Patriots hat, Rodney Harrison, come sign my hat. Colts fans, it's just awesome, Rod.
It's funny because early in the week we've heard some of the Eagles players complain about making this trip, but I had a chance to talk to A.J. Brown. He said he thoroughly enjoyed this trip, and he said Brazil gets a bad rep. And I agree with him because, Coach, we've been here all week. We walked through the city. The people have been tremendous. The food has been great. I've enjoyed my time.
It's been beautiful, great hospitality, and you couldn't have a better atmosphere. Perfect football weather, great field, great conditions. It's going to be awesome.
But also, I woke up this morning. I thought I was going to go down to the lobby and have a nice, quiet breakfast. I walk into the lobby, and all you see is Packers fans and Eagles fans all over the place. It took me 45 minutes to get a seat for breakfast.
And remember, too, winter just wrapping up down here in Brazil, so it kind of feels like fall in a football town a little bit, doesn't it? Anything stand out, some of the players and coaches that you were talking to? I saw you bouncing around for about an hour, Coach.
Well, the thing that I noticed, Green Bay had a little advantage because this field is just like what's in Lambeau Field. The Philadelphia defensive backs were out here early. They were slipping a little bit. They all changed the long cleats, and they're ready to go now.
Absolutely.
All right, it's time now for Reinventing the Game, brought to you by Accenture and Kaylee Hartung down here with us in Brazil, and she has more on the energy and the local impact of that color green.
Hey there, guys. Here at the Game Day Experience just outside of Corinthians Arena, fans are being taught what the NFL is all about. Even some locals like my new friend Andre here, who says he's been a Packers fan for 10 years. We've got Super Bowl rings on display over here, the Vince Lombardi trophy over there. But for the locals here, as historic as this game is, they are getting to see a sight really unfamiliar in these parts, and that's a lot of the color green. That's because typically the color is unofficially banned at this stadium. This is home to Brazilian football club Corinthians, and their kits that you see in black and white, Well, green is the color of their fiercest rival, Palmeiras. And while that ban does not apply tonight, you might think that the Eagles are playing to locals when you see the uniforms they're debuting. Yes, black and white, just like Corinthians, with barely a hint of green in the numbers. But the Packers, yeah, they are wearing their green and gold, even at the risk of being instantly unpopular here, just as they would be if this game was in Phillies. But guys, I don't know. I think I've found plenty of Eagles and Packers fans here wearing that green, guys.
Kaylee, that is for sure. So new uniforms for Philly, a new offensive play caller, and Kellen Moore as well. Eagles' third offensive coordinator the last 3 years. And Coach Dungy, he spoke with Nick Sirianni about how that impacts Jalen Hurts.
Jalen had success with one system. Now, how has it been for him learning new terminology, new plays?
Yeah, you know, he just went all in on it, and he's done an unbelievable job just leading this year and learning this year. And I thought he had a great training camp, a really phenomenal training camp that, you know, should set him up for a great 2024 season. You know, you're seeing some of these plays. There's going to be some similarities too, because we'd be foolish if there wasn't.
And Zach, I talked to Kellen Moore, the new coordinator out here on the field, and I asked him about that, and he said it was a challenge because he wanted to keep the positive elements and the great things that they had done, but help Jalen handle the blitz a little bit better. So it was a little dicey putting it together, but he said Jalen Hurts has really embraced it.
But if you're Kellen Moore, don't make it more difficult than what it is. Run the offense through Saquon Barkley, make him the focal point of the offense, and then use that big offensive line. Then that opens up the passing game.
So they signed Saquon Barkley, but also Dotson. They may go ahead and make a trade for Dotson. What is that going to do for this offense?
Well, I think it is really going to help them explode because everybody is going to have to stack the run, the box to stop Saquon. Now you've got a third wide receiver. Bad matchups all over the field, and if you have to throw the ball, if you're Jalen Hurts, you got a lot of targets now.
There's a whole lot more of that conversation coming up, including how they're going to try to replace Jason Kelce. But for now, we'll send it back in to Marie and the guys.
All right, appreciate it, Jack. Welcome to our new home in Studio 3. Chris Sims, Devin McCourty, and Devin can't hide anymore behind his back. Got to stand up.
He's stuck
big
between
dog.
us tall people now.
100%.
It's
okay, I'll hold my own. All right, we're going to see who holds their own tonight. And if you think about it, these were two teams trending in different directions. The Eagles kind of trending down, losing in that wild card matchup against Tampa Bay, and the Packers playing in the divisional round. What intrigues you most about seeing them matched up?
Well, I expect Philadelphia to bounce back, right? And I expect Green Bay to continue the momentum they had at the end of the season. I think it's two of the 5 most talented rosters in football. I would not be shocked if we saw these two teams in the NFC Championship game. We saw Green Bay was every bit as good as that 49er team in the divisional round last year.
And what I love about it is the newness. Both teams said, hey, last year wasn't good enough. Yeah, we looked at Green Bay and said, Jordan Love, he's new, Aaron Rodgers gone. But they kind of expected it. But you look, 6 new defensive coaches. You go and get Josh Jacobs,
right.
Xavier McKinney.
Right.
You look at the Eagles. They just talked about it. 2 new coordinators. Saquon Barkley, all of these things happening because they didn't finish in the Super Bowl. And that's what I love about the NFL. Yeah. You don't win the big one, you change things up, and you're trying to go win.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yes, we're all going to find out whether or not all of those changes work as we get set for the first game ever taking place in South America. And that's exactly where you find the commissioner of the NFL, Roger Goodell.
Look at him. An international man.
We were with him in Kansas City last year. He's the most popular guy in the NFL sometimes.
I'm saying he's international. All right, we're going to hear more from Nick Sirianni after this. Don't go anywhere.
Bring the energy, powered by the all-electric Acura ZDX.
Were there moments that you were like, yeah, I'm the man?
My first home start here, we're down 17-0 going in the 4th, and, you know, we put together a great comeback.
Good teams have good players. Great teams have great teammates. And Saquon's a great teammate.
By a toe, the opener looks like it'll go to the Chiefs.
Kansas City is wrong. Chris Sims and I can't wait for Big Ten Saturday night tomorrow. 2 big-name coaches. Hey, prime time in prime time.
Yes.
Yes. And remember, Colorado got the win against Nebraska last year in Boulder. We'll see whether or not Nebraska can pull off. Is it an upset? I don't know.
Quarterbacks, I can tell you that. We're going to hit that tomorrow for sure.
And we're also going to hit a quadruple header, which ends with number 7 Oregon taking on Boise State. Enjoy a full slate of college football on NBC and Peacock with us. Won't you join us? Meanwhile, Packers defensive lineman Rashawn Gary is a product of the Big Ten. He played his college football at Michigan, led Green Bay with 9 sacks last year, and he caught up with Rodney a little bit earlier.
You guys have a new defensive coordinator, Jeff Hafley. What gets you excited about this defense?
Yeah, man, with Coach Haf and this new defense, it's just how he allows us to have our input. And, number one thing is a 4-3 about, creating more negative plays, more TFLs, more sacks, and just, calling a lot of negative plays.
You're facing a healthy Jalen Hurts. How do you contain this guy?
Man, 4-1, up front. We got to all rush together as one. Crush the pocket. It's going to be a lot of crushing the pocket. And, we got to take away the number 1 read and make him be quarterback. But number one thing, we got to keep his legs right in the pocket.
Now, how has your experience been in Brazil?
Man, it's been great, man. I've been loving the fans, loving the energy, been loving the weather. Great food, man. It's just been a blessing. Good experience.
I wish you all the best. Thank you, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
So as you can see, you've got a couple of the top contenders in the NFC here in Brazil. Green Bay, they lost a tight game to San Francisco, that divisional round last year. The 49ers, they end up taking the conference. But this is 2024, so if you could only take one team in the NFC, who might that be?
I'm taking the San Francisco 49ers. They have the best offense and most talented offense in the NFC, and they got studs on the defensive side. Fred Warner, Bosa, Javon Hargrave, plus a healthy Talanoa Hufanga. I like San Francisco, Coach.
I agree with you on San Francisco. They're loaded, but I'll tell you what, the winner of this game is going into the number 2 slot for me. I just think these two teams, Philadelphia was one of the best teams in the league at the beginning of the year. Green Bay was one of the best teams in the league last year at the end of the year. I think this...
Don't forget about those Detroit Lions, okay? They added DJ Reader. That's a big plus on the defensive line, stopping the run, and they added some dogs in the secondary that can play tight man-to-man coverage.
Who do you believe in more, Green Bay or Detroit?
You know what, Detroit is my hometown, so I got to go with the Lions. But I tell you, Green Bay, always talk to these guys, energy, excitement. These defensive players are jacked up, right?
Green Bay, I like them. I just think that defensively, they've gotten better. In the secondary, up front with Kenny Clark and just maintaining what they had, I think they're pretty good.
And Green Bay, they really embarrassed Dallas, right? That's really the lasting image. As they got hot, they embarrassed Dallas.
They went into Detroit last year on Thanksgiving Day and won that game.
Green Bay beat Kansas City, too.
They did. We were there for that game,
Absolutely.
Sunday night football game. That game was in
like
Green Bay.
Might have a pretty good team. Huh?
That's exactly right. And over on the other side of the league, 2 of the best in the AFC. Opening night, it was decided by a toenail, Maria Taylor. You were there.
You were right. And if game 1 is indicative of what we can expect this season, we're going to get our money's worth, okay? Came down to the final drive. Ravens down 7. Lamar Jackson misses Zay Flowers.
He couldn't sleep last night because of this play right there. Makes a nice move up in the pocket, steps up, just what you want to do, but just puts too much mustard on the ball and throws it behind, doesn't lead Zay Flowers.
But shout out Justice Hill. He's one-on-one with Chris Jones 2 times in a row.
Incredible.
I mean, and Lamar Jackson, he has to save Justice Hill by doing this and still steps up in the pocket and makes an unbelievable throw to Isaiah Likely. And you could see, just slide your big toe back a little bit. You want to kind of toe swag, drag, all the good stuff. But the cleats look good, but maybe not the best choice. I don't know, we'll probably hear about it later, but Lamar Jackson made unbelievable plays.
Unbelievable
You want to talk
Great
about the
game.
cleats, you said? All right, Patrick Mahomes, tell us a little something about those cleats.
No, definitely nerve-wracking. I mean, because it looked good from my angle on the sideline, but then the first view you could see the cleat. He's got to wear white cleats next time. That's my advice for him.
White cleats is true. Playing in New England, Bill Belichick said, whatever color the jersey is of the opponent, they got white jerseys, put on white gloves, because I might need to grab you a little bit.
We want to hide.
I don't want them to see that.
I know.
You got to try to win. Exactly.
That's what it's about that. Right. We saw a great game last night. Maria hit on that. We saw Lamar Jackson make some of the most unbelievable plays we were going to see. But I think you and I both agree that, we need a little breaks. And was too much. It really was. There was not a lot of plays to be had within the normal rhythm
people
of the
excited
offense.
about that. I don't want to
And
see
we
my
don't need
quarterback
that
drop that
negative
shoulder.
ghost rider, right? We want to see you playing all year, Lamar Jackson. But he made magic happen, and we love that.
This right here, unbelievable throw. Moves up in the pocket. We'll take that. He can make those plays off schedule, but the amount of times where he dropped back and it looked like he was letting everyone get downfield just to run, it seemed like he was trying to make every big play to will the team. It wasn't necessary.
Agreed. I think he was angry still about the AFC Championship game for sure, so he was trying to carry the team on his back. You'd like to see him run the ball a little bit, but at 205 pounds, the pounding he took last night, he will not make it through the rest of the year if he plays like that.
They cannot win without him. They need him, but they only lost by 7.
Right.
There's still room to improve.
They're really
this
good.
team will still be in it at the end.
Yes, they will.
All right, we know who's going to be in it on Sunday. Let's take a look ahead to Sunday's slate presented by NFL Sunday Ticket on YouTube TV. And Sunday night, we've got the rematch of the playoffs. Detroit Rams taking on the Lions. And if it's anything like what we saw in the wild card round in January, we're in for a good one, okay? Stafford, Jared Goff, y'all went off. Y'all balled out. And you know who else did? The hometown hero, Aiden Hutchinson. He grew up just 30 miles away from Detroit, grew up a Lions fan. And I had a chance to talk to him earlier today about what it's like with the Detroit fans embracing them this season.
Yeah, I mean, that crowd on Sunday is going to be electric. I already know that they're going to come out and, you know, the support they showed us last year through all the success has been just amazing. And I think the pride that they have in our team it's really inspiring, and it inspires me. You know, I think for that divisional, one of my mentalities was just do it for the city, you know, because I think they've been waiting so long for this. And even me, myself, growing up a Lions fan, I understand the grief that they have gone through, but I think those times are over, and there's kind of a new era in Lions football.
All right, the era will continue with Rams-Lions. That'll be Sunday night. But Sunday at 1, Bengals hosting the Patriots. Joe Burrow's back, Mike Florio. But the question is, who will be the receiver surrounding him?
Well, Jamar Chase, star receiver, is on the injury report as questionable, but he's not injured. This has become a game of contract chicken. The Bengals know what Jamar Chase wants, but the Bengals think that come Saturday, he'll take their best offer. I'm not so sure of that. I'm told he is willing to sit out on Sunday if he doesn't get what he wants. Meanwhile, receiver T. Higgins, he's not happy with his contract. He's doubtful with a hamstring injury. I'm told it is a real injury and he is not likely to play. The question is, if he's anything less than 100%, when will he come back? Because he doesn't have that security he's been looking for years.
All right, Mike, that sprint right there you did.
That was
okay.
good,
That was
right?
close to Xavier Worthy.
Right there.
Yeah, we're going to get used to our studio and know where to be by the time we get to Sunday night. All right, but we're going to listen for the latest news from Mike on PFT Live and Happy Hour with Matthew Berry. Chris Sims always going to be unbuttoned. And Sunday and Wednesday, we have an FNIA podcast that's brand new to the lineup. Make sure you tune in on Peacock and the NFL on NBC YouTube channel. Meanwhile, I can't wait for flag football to come to LA in the Olympics in 2028. The sport's played in over 100 countries, including Brazil. And last year, the NFL helped launch the first ever youth NFL flag program in the country. A team from Sao Paulo won the U12 national title and later represented Brazil at the International Flag Championship at Pro Bowl this past February. And you can learn more at NFLflag.com. And guess what? We've got our own flag football team.
We got the real Packers here.
Yes,
But
the new Canaan Packers.
We have a lot of Patriots fans, though. A lot of Patriots fans.
Oh, yeah, you gotta have that. It always goes back to the Patriots.
Y'all can tell them it's okay.
Yeah. All right, we saw one.
Okay, listen, we've got Coach Colin here. Can you tell us what to expect? It's the first season, and you guys got your jamboree tomorrow. What can the girls expect?
I think we have a really good team, and I think we're going to get out there and go Pack Go.
Okay.
I love it.
I like it. Go Pack Go.
Championships only.
One more question for the ladies. Raise your hand. Give me a holler if you think the Eagles are going to win tonight. Raise your hand. Give me a holler if you think the Packers are going to win tonight.
All right.
Hey.
Smart group here. Okay, I got you.
We're going to make sure they get a pick in the Lowe's home team picks, okay? Great job, and we'll be looking out for you guys in flag football and maybe eventually in the Olympics, okay? Flag football coming your way. The real pack is in here with us. The fake pack, yeah, they're in Brazil. They're getting ready to take on the Eagles. We'll talk that game a little bit more after this.
Are you nervous?
No. That's a lie.
A lie already, wow. Did you grow up as a Packer fan?
Yes.
True.
Is your childhood bedroom decorated with Packers gear?
And more, yes.
Do you still own a Packers comforter?
No. My mom does.
Is it in your room?
Not at my house.
Is it in your room at home?
It's in my childhood bedroom at my mom's house.
So do you still own a Packers comforter?
My mother does, yes.
Is that still your room at home? Do you sleep in that room when you go home?
Yes.
So it's your comforter?
It's not at my house.
It's a yes or no question.
Yes.
We're going down the...
He wasn't letting him off the hook, was he, Coach?
He's a Packer fan.
So Dallas Goedert, South Dakota native, but he has the whole NFC covered. Named Dallas because his dad was a Cowboys fan, grew up a Packers fan like you just heard, and for the last 7 years he has been a standout tight end for the Eagles. But in his first game at Green Bay, this was back in 2019, he scored a touchdown, and Hot Rod, he couldn't resist the Lambeau Leap. You've done one of these.
It's tough to get up there, too.
It is.
Especially as a 50-year-old man.
But he was smart. He leaped into the Eagles fans, though.
It is time now for the DraftKings Sportsbook 3-play. Matthew Berry's got us covered on you, Matthew.
Hey, thank you, Jack. Listen, we got football on Friday night. We got football in Brazil. It's a night of firsts, and that includes Saquon Barkley in a Philadelphia Eagles uniform. So what better way to welcome Saquon to the team than getting him into the end zone? You know, for all the talk about the tush push, the fact of the matter is DeAndre Swift last year was top 8 in the NFL in goal-to-go rushing attempts. They still give it to the running back when they get in close. I think Barkley gets in the end zone tonight, give me an anytime touchdown. Now, changes on the offense for Philadelphia, changes on the defense for Philadelphia as well. New defensive coordinator. You heard the guys talking about that earlier. Some remade secondary as well. That's where Jordan Love is going to attack. I think he throws early and often. Give me the over, 225 passing yards. That's an alt line, but I think he has a nice game tonight. And when he's throwing, who's he throwing to? How about Jaden Reed, right? The Eagles have 2 rookie corners in the slot. And get this, Jaden Reed has had at least 4 receptions in 8 straight games dating back to last season. I think he makes it 9 tonight. Give me the over on 3.5 receptions for Jaden Reed. That's my DraftKings 3-play for tonight. Saquon to score a touchdown, over on the Jordan Love passing, and over on the Jaden Reed receptions. Jack?
All right, so Matthew, he's looking at some of these young pass catchers, and the Packers, they bring back their top 6 pass catchers from a season ago, all of them under the age of 26. There's another one in Watson. And matter of fact, Coach, their quarterback is under the age of 26 as well.
Yeah, they've got some young, talented guys. They're hungry. They work hard. They're fast. They're talented. They may not be household words. Dontavian Wicks, Romeo Dobbs, guys like that that the nation hasn't heard of, but they're going to see them tonight, and I think they're going to be very,
they're young
good.
and they're very inexpensive, so that allowed the Green Bay Packers to make a heavy investment on the defensive side of the ball. They went out and signed Xavier McKinney, who's a top free safety on the market. They kept Jair, they re-signed Rashawn Gary, and then they hired an aggressive defensive coordinator. This defense should be a lot better, Jack.
And at times it seemed like Aaron Rodgers would get a little bit frustrated with the youth and trying to coach them up, where Love just completely has embraced it.
He really has, and he's the perfect leader for them. He's gotten them to work hard. He's gotten them to grow, and they love him.
I really enjoy Jordan Love. I got a chance to meet him last year. When I met him, he was humble, he was cool, but the moment wasn't too big for him, and I trust Jordan Love.
All right, I couldn't believe how big he was, standing next to him
like
pregame
6'4",
warm-up.
225.
And thick he is, too.
Absolutely.
NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell, of course, he did not want to miss the league's first trip to Brazil, and he is down on the field with Kaylee Hartung.
Of course not, Jack. Now, Commissioner, I know that this game has been on your schedule since you announced it. The NFL has been playing internationally since the 80s. What made Sao Paulo so attractive as you brought the NFL to South America for the first time?
Well, I guess I'd probably say just look around, right? I mean, the crowd, the enthusiasm, the fans, the stadium itself, which I think is really important for us. So, and they're really the leadership here, both in the private sector and the public sector, really wanted to do this, and that makes a difference for us.
Now, we know you'll play in Madrid next year, and I understand you've looked into Abu Dhabi and Paris as well. What is the ultimate goal with these international games?
To make us a global sport. And I think when we take the game to these markets, the television, the media, it all helps. But at the end of the day, when they get here and they get into this environment, and even people that aren't here hear it from them, it becomes a big event, and it's what captures them, I think. And I think it's going to put us on a rocket ship.
Realistically, how close do you think we are to an international division in the league?
You know, I think the first thing we're going to really focus on is playing. The ownership's approved 8 games already. I hope to get that to 16 at some point in the future. Let's see how that goes. But I do believe there are a number of cities internationally that could do it. It's always a competitive side we worry about.
This crowd is picking up as we speak. I know you love to see it. How about this new dynamic kickoff rule? I know you guys wanted to make the play more competitive and also safer. Last night we got a first look, 9 touchbacks, 2 returns. What was your reaction to that 1 game sample size?
You know, I hesitate to ever have that because, you know, there's so many factors that go into that. Who are the returners? Are they trying to avoid the returners? There are all kinds of issues that go into that. And we know that we're going to have to make adjustments at the end of the year. What we want to do is see if we can get this play back, do it in a safe way, and then make other adjustments, whether it's moving it from the 30 to the 35 or even the 40. Those are the types of things that the clubs will want to talk about.
Absolutely. Well, as this stadium continues to fill up, I'll let you go shake some more hands and kiss some more babies. Roger Goodell's making a lot of friends in Brazil. Back to you guys, Jack.
Kaylee, Commissioner Goodell, thank you so much. Well, Coach, you were all over this. You said you thought there might be a whole lot more touchbacks. Your reaction to last night, what you just heard?
Yeah, 9 out of 11 last night. I talked to both special teams coaches. I think we're going to see the same thing tonight. These returners are too dangerous. They're going to kick the ball out of the end zone.
I just talked to the commissioner about the kickoff rule, and I told him the punishment isn't severe enough. It should have been at least a 35 or the 40. That would encourage more kicks in that zone.
You made your name early on some of those kickoffs, didn't you?
Absolutely. That's how I made the team and was able to play 15 years in the league.
One of the most fun plays. And one of the Eagles' backup quarterbacks, actually third-string quarterback, and Tanner McKee spent almost 2 years on a service mission in Brazil prior to his playing days at Stanford, and he recently dropped some knowledge on his teammates.
I'm going to say a phrase in Portuguese. You're going to repeat it. Vamos jogar jogo no Brasil. Está na temporada de futebol americano. What? Aqui é AJ. It's just AJ. Okay. All right, what's your chance?
That's how long my name is?
Estou animado.
Estou animado.
Para jogar. Pão de queijo.
Pão de queijo.
That actually wasn't bad.
Okay, I told you bilingual.
Vamos jogar.
Vamos jogar
jogo. No Brasil.
no Brasil.
Pretty good. All right.
I'm in Brazil. How you say that?
Estou no Brasil.
We in Brazil.
Their Portuguese better than ours, Coach.
We needed Tanner. Where was he? We needed help ordering food.
We could have used a beautiful shot of the arena or Walmart Plus Sky Cam in this stadium. It is no stranger to big events, the World Cup, Olympic soccer matches, but now a whole new football's in town. About 45 minutes to kick off from Sao Paulo.
Hurts does it again.
This is Football Night in America, served by Applebee's.
Oh yeah, so American football meets Brazilian futebol. That is how soccer's referenced down here in the late, great Pele. He got the chance to meet Broadway Joe in New York, one of the best soccer players of all time. He left Brazil in 1975 to play for the New York Cosmos.
You guys weren't even born yet.
That's right. Pele got us thinking about one-name NFL stars. How about some running backs? Bo, Barry, Emmett, Tiki, Coach. We got another on the field tonight, Saquon.
Yes, we do. Saquon Barkley coming here to Philadelphia. He is a great football player. I think he's going to bring some attitude back to the Eagles. They got away from their running game last year. He's not going to allow that. And the other thing he's going to do, he's going to help those receivers because you're going to have to gang up on him to stop the run.
I had an opportunity to talk to Josh Jacobs, and he absolutely loves Green Bay. He said he hasn't been used this way. I expect him, Coach, to get a lot of usage out of the passing game, catch the ball out of the passing game, out of the backfield, and run in between the tackles.
On Green Bay's defense, I'm looking at Eric Stokes. I think he's going to be a key tonight. They're going to play a lot of man coverage. They're going to blitz a lot. Jair Alexander on the other side is a great player. and he's going to get a lot of action and activity here.
Looking forward to seeing C.J. Gardner-Johnson. He's a playmaker. He brings personality, energy, toughness to the secondary. He's a guy, he talks a lot of trash. He plays extremely physical, and he'll definitely be a difference maker tonight, Jack.
And the Eagles as well. It takes a unique franchise, really a bold franchise, to use their first 2 draft picks on DBs, and that's exactly what Philly did. You feel like this has become a strength, that secondary?
I don't think it's like anything weird or anything like that. I mean, when you draft the two best DBs in college football, I think the secondary automatically gets better. You add C.J. Gardner-Johnson, you have Darius Slay, Avonte Maddox. With Coach Fangio and the discipline that he brings, I think they're going to be out. I think they're going to be a lot better, I would say.
Yeah, I was at the Eagles practice last week, and Darius Slay told me he is so excited now. Vic Fangio has brought discipline, he's brought accountability, he's brought aggressiveness. They're going to be more physical. He is really, really excited.
When you have a new defensive coordinator, it always feels good because you have a clean slate. You can go out there and you can prove yourself, and I think that's a great opportunity for these young guys. I saw him out there, Cooper DeJean, the way he was moving, Quinyon Mitchell. These young men, they're special, and they're going to be excellent football players.
It was interesting, too, to watch Cooper DeJean getting used to this field. He was doing through warm-up, slipped a couple times, took his cleats off, put on new cleats, and he looked a little more comfortable.
But you never had to worry about that with the Packers because this is their field. So they already come out with 3/4 inches.
They are. They're used to it. And it will not be an easy start for this Eagles defense. They're going to face one of the hottest quarterbacks to end last season in Jordan Love. And Maria, she visited Lambeau Field to learn more about the young star.
All right, Jordan, so what I usually do, obviously, when you know you're going to do an interview, the first thing is hop on social media and try to learn more about people, which I learned that you don't post that much.
No.
But I did have fun going through some of the pictures. What comes to mind first?
Oh, great day. Great day right there. Signed that contract. Yeah, blessed.
Did I hear the story right that you were 5'6" going into high school?
Yeah, freshman year. 5'6", like 135 pounds, 140 pounds. I was one of the smallest people on my team freshman year of high school.
And now what, 6'4"?
Now 6'4", 225.
No
like,
big deal.
I think that picture, freshman year to senior year, from the smallest to the biggest. So my journey has been crazy where I just never would have imagined being a starting quarterback in the NFL. And
Okay, I got another one. This is my favorite because, you know, it's my girl, so.
Yeah, it's wifey right there. Very blessed to have her in my life. I proposed this offseason, and she's my fiance now, so she's incredible.
What's the backstory? Can you tell me how you guys met?
So my roommate in college, they went to high school together, and they were best friends, so he would FaceTime her. I'd be in the background. He'd be like, yo, say what's up to my boy right here, and it started off slow, just saying what's up, and then, you know, I'd start taking the phone, and we'd be having our little one-on-one conversations, and literally the rest is history.
Okay, well, I feel like I wouldn't have been doing my job accordingly if I didn't invite Veronica.
Oh, wow. What's up? Come on, read it.
I'm so cute.
Wow, what a surprise.
I've never heard, just pull a chair up. Yes.
Wow.
I've never heard him say the story, so it's fun.
Do you agree with the story? Did he get it right? Did he get it right?
That's funny. Look, you guys set me up.
Got you.
Wow.
All right, Veronica, you heard his story. I kind of want to hear yours and what drew you to Jordan.
We had always joked around about meeting up. I told him that he better not be catfishing me because, you know, I'm a true 6'2".
Yeah,
listen. Guys like to be like, oh, I'm 6'4",
so tall.
and then be here. He passed the height check, and then after that, we were playing horse, mini golf. I beat him in both.
Obviously.
Yeah, I'm a pure shooter.
I don't remember all that.
Jordan, who's the better athlete?
Better athlete?
Yeah.
Oh, me for sure. Me for sure.
Yeah. Walk me through the engagement because the video is amazing.
I don't remember what he said. He doesn't remember what he said.
Blacked out for sure.
And he did his thing.
More nerve-wracking, playing in Lambeau, proposing to her.
I said proposing. That was pretty intense.
You're prepared for the season now.
And now I'm ready for the season.
And now you're ready for the season. Instantly one of my favorite interviews ever. Veronica Stone, also her dad played for 12 years in the NFL. Like, the pedigree is all there, but he chose the right one, so I feel like she's got him on the right page.
And their baby's probably going to look like your baby. Your baby's 8 months. My son's 3 years old. It's a close competition in height and weight, so creating that kind of animal.
Devin
right
catfished us. He also said he was 6'2", and that's why we brought him on this show, and here we are. Here we are. All right, we talked about Jordan Love being a late bloomer. The 5'6" going into high school. I kind of feel like even in the season last year, it was a microcosm of late bloomer. It took him some time to really get into the rhythm, and at the end of the season, he was amazing.
That's like me and Jordan Love. We're similar. Late bloomer. I got here, you guys were kind of shocked. It worked out well. For Jordan Love, that's what the season was. And what I'm looking forward to see this year, the maturity on how do you handle all of this. Before, everyone had question marks. Can you follow Aaron Rodgers? Can you do this? Can you do that? He came and delivered, and he did it. Now everybody's expecting this team possibly to be in a Super Bowl. That's a lot to take on. So I want to see how he handles it. What does he do? He seems really focused. When you get the right woman by your side, a lot of things work out for you.
There you go. When you make good decisions off the field, you make great decisions on it. And you can see exactly how much growth he certainly had between as the season progressed from 3-6 to 7-3. Sims, we saw some growth that was kind of unprecedented, but it was fun to watch in this young star.
It was fun. You guys said it right. I mean, early on in the year, last year, there was struggles for Jordan Love. There's no doubt about that. But as the year went on, and especially Thanksgiving, it's like Green Bay and the coaches said, hey, it's time to sink or swim. We got to see if this guy can go to the next level and start carrying us as a football team. And he did that. He ended up with the second most touchdown passes in all of football. First off schedule plays. Yes, he can do that. And he doesn't run to run. He runs to find a place to throw the football. The other thing I love about this guy, he just does not flinch in the pocket. He will stand in there to the very last second, doesn't care if he's going to get hit, and he's going to be aggressive and throw the ball down the field. They're an aggressive passing football team. Then, here's next level stuff. Kind of recognizes the secondary, knows it's going to be a blitz, gets the protection all organized, and then throws a beautiful ball in the back of the end zone against the Cowboys in the wild card game. That is where he has really grown in the second half of the year, Marie and Devin, and I think that'll continue this year, especially with Josh Jacobs at running back now.
It's the scariest thing as a defense when you know you can create pressure, you can get to him, but he's not going to flinch. He's going to stand in there and throw the ball. When you talk about that as a defense, you're like, hey, we got to get to him. We can't just get pressure. We got to sack him and make sure we take him down with the ball in his hands.
Yeah, that was the Friday Night Fire brought to you by Fireball. But, guys, it's crazy to think, even in talking to him, when he was at Utah State, he was like, I'm just going to get my college degree, never expecting the opportunity to potentially play in the NFL. He had a teammate come up to him when he was like a sophomore. He's like, dude, you're going to play in the league.
Oh,
Other
you're pretty
people
good.
had to tell him
Big
that
talent.
he was going to have this
Big
spot.
time talent, so relaxed, right?
Yeah.
And then let's not forget, in one of the toughest situations you could ever be in at the start of his career, behind Aaron Rodgers and all that stuff that went on there for a few years.
And what that turns into is a guy whose work ethic never changes. He didn't know he'd be there, so he continues to do what he's supposed to do or what he had to do to get there. I love that for him and for this team.
Yeah, another story I love about him, he lost his father when he was 14, and his dad was somebody who was really instrumental in him joining and playing football, and he plays for him every single time he suits up. And I think that that's part of the reason we're seeing so much success. He plays for more than just the game. All right, this is our first Friday, our first game in South America. The Packers are taking on the Eagles as we continue to roll through week 1 of the football season.
Welcome to the Hyundai Kickoff.
So Jalen Hurts breaking down the Philadelphia Eagles, getting ready to go. Back in Sao Paulo, we're on the field presented by Hyundai. You guys had the opportunity to be down here for a couple of hours now. What's the most interesting thing we've heard hanging out?
Well, I met with a ton of Green Bay Packers defenders, and I'm just amazed at how excited they are for this new defense coordinator, Jeff Hafley. I think they're going to be a lot more aggressive. They're going to play physical, and they're going to play a lot of tight man-to-man coverage.
Yeah, I talked to a lot of defenders, too, and the coaches. Everybody's talking about aggressive blitz, stop the run, stop these two great backs. I think the receivers and the DBs are going to be the key.
But I also talked to Jair Alexander, and I asked him, I said, last year you were complaining about matching up with the #1 receiver. Will you match up with the #1 receiver tonight? He just gave me a little smile and a little blink and walked away.
He said, watch me.
You've been waiting on that, haven't you?
Absolutely. He's been waiting on that. You pay a guy $20 million a year, match him up with the #1 receiver, and that's why I think they have so much respect, and they're really excited about this new defense coordinator. They're going to be aggressive.
Well, for the Eagles, they're going to have to figure out some way to survive without Jason Kelce. And for Jason Kelce, he has really been enjoying retirement here lately. He has been all over the map. The legendary 13-year run comes to a close. Remember who's out there with Travis Kelce, that Buffalo game? He's enjoying, he's partying up there in the booth. You remember that, Coach?
He's having fun.
Then we had him, went back, graduated the University of Cincinnati, signed that podcast deal. They gave him quarterback money, Hot Rod. Hooked him up, did some bartending out there on the Jersey Shore as well, went to the Olympics, made some new friends, did a little arm wrestling as well, and he sported a new look as well with the beret.
You at the Olympics.
He did. I actually did see him out there for a little bit. Big question now is how can you possibly replace a guy like that? And Coach Dungy, I know when you talk with Coach Sirianni, this was one of those topics at the top of your mind. So let's hear what he had to say.
One of your big challenges is replacing a Hall of Famer in Jason Kelce. Go to the video and show some of the things that made Jason special.
This is the first game of the year in 2021. Just his athletic ability, getting around the junk.
Who does this with centers?
It's like a fullback. He gets around all the junk. There's got kind of backdoors, and he's able to pick that one up and then go to the next one. Like, this is stuff that you see on movies. Remember the Titans where Sunshine hits the one guy, he goes to the next guy, hits him. That doesn't happen. This is like a movie type shot.
Cam Jurgens, he's the replacement. Will he be able to do things like this, or will you have to block some of these plays differently?
This is a preseason game. Here's Cam. As you can see, it looks pretty similar.
Yes.
Right? He's able to get around this stuff. He's quick. He's athletic. He could see that drive and that finish.
Oh, I like
with
that.
This guy, too.
I like that.
And so what Cam was able to do is not only watch the tape of somebody that's done it the best, he got to sit right behind him and then see it on the field next
Alongside
to him in 2023.
Yeah. Fourth down, 3rd and 1. Jason was the best at that.
He was able to drive off the football while snapping the football. And so we'll show you the tush push.
Now, is that what you guys call it?
We don't call it that, but I'm not going to say what we call it.
Okay.
You can see right here.
And quickness.
He gets so low, so quick, and you can see who's next to him, right? You can see Cam standing right there next to him. And then the surge that you're getting right here. Look at Cam and him are both getting out at the same time and creating that surge.
And you see 91, he's up and back and off balance because they're just coming out of that.
They're coming off the ball. And so the table is set by the center, and Jason did a great job of that.
After watching this tape, I don't think you're going to have to change too much about how you do things.
Yeah, we really feel like the skill set is similar, and Jason did a good job of grooming the next center of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Not having to change too much. That's a statement right there. Kelce started the last 167 games at center, including the playoffs. How do you replace a guy like that?
Well, physically, you can replace him with a younger Cam Jurgens, a guy that can move and do all those different things. But you can't replace 12 years of knowledge and wisdom being in those trenches, Coach.
Yeah, you're exactly right. One thing is going to be different. Jalen Hurts is not going to have that Jason Kelce to rely on. Coach actually showed me in that film session in games where Jason would say, hey, he's coming. Don't worry about him, Jalen. We're going to slide. We got him. Jalen Hurts is going to have to do those protections and make those calls at the line of scrimmage tonight.
Fellas, I think about that tush push, too. Philadelphia is one of those teams. Anytime they needed a yard, a couple yards, it was no problem, and that was all Jason Kelce. Where does that go
But
now?
I would always say, why don't they do it on first down? I mean, You see how big their linemen are. You see Mulatto over there. He's 6'8". Why don't they just do it on first down and push? It's 3 to 4 yards every single time.
You know what? You might see some on first and second down because I think Coach wants to see live if Cam Jurgens can do this the way Kelce did.
Coach, we were watching Jurgens out here in warm-ups. Man, can he move? How athletic is he?
Oh, he is just like Jason in that regard. He's a big man who's got feet and he's got skills. That part is going to be fine. It is going to be the mental part.
They're going to miss Kelce's his leadership in that locker room, just him being who he is.
They are for sure. Key leadership on the defensive side as well with Fletcher Cox, who also retired.
Respect to Fletcher, absolutely.
Absolutely. But Jason Kelce, one of the true Iron Men over the last 13 years. And even Jason, he couldn't catch our guy Devin McCourty when it comes to being out there in full pads when they need him most.
Love to see it, yeah. Devin, we're throwing you a bone there. Time for the All-State check-in. Guys, I just want to bring to everyone's attention, when you guys saw in the tape and you saw Kelce turn and go, kill, 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 you're like, yo, you don't see that. Right. Like, help us understand how unique that is.
It is very unique. The quarterback is usually in charge of that, right? It's the quarterback is doing all the film study, right? Oh, no, the free safety, weak side linebacker are blitzing, and you change the point and get it into another play, whatever. Very rare that way. That's what they're going to lose without Kelce, but Jalen Hurts sounds like he's up to the task.
And I think I remember reading about Jalen Hurts. His dad was a coach. He's learned the game of football in his mind before he even started playing. So this is something I think he can definitely do. He has to go out there. But one of the biggest things I want to see is, how does Kellen Moore make the game easier for Jalen Hurts? We saw that. Jared Goff goes to Detroit, gets it with Ben Johnson. Easy games, easy flow. I want to see how he can help Jalen Hurts be even better.
Agreed. I mean, last year they were not in a good spot with their offensive coordinator. So Jalen Hurts was in some tough spots. But I will say there was some encouraging things at the end of the year, because they couldn't dominate the line of scrimmage the way they wanted to. They couldn't run the ball that way, and they had to rely on him to throw. And I do think he grew as a passer. And hopefully with Kellen Moore, and this offensive line is still really, really good, right? They can be a different offense this year.
You know what's really interesting? 3 different offensive coordinators in 3 seasons for Jalen Hurts, but it's not too dissimilar to what happened to him in college. He had a different offensive coordinator almost every single season, and then was transferring to Oklahoma. So, yeah, there's a lot of similarities there. He'll certainly be ready. All right, it is time for Barry's Bet, presented by DraftKings. Barry, who do you got?
Thank you, Maria. Well, I got Jordan Love's legs, okay? Jordan Love's rushing prop tonight is 7.5 rushing yards. That's a number he hit 10 different times last year. And by the way, Maria, I saw your interview clip that we played last night where he said his favorite quarterback growing up was Michael Vick. I don't got a stat for you, but when you go on national TV and say your favorite quarterback growing up was Michael Vick, you're running tonight. Give me the over on 7.5 rushing yards for Jordan Love tonight. That is my Barry's best bet.
DraftKings Sportsbook is the #1 place to bet touchdowns. And new customers can bet $5 and get $250 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, get 1 month of NFL Plus Premium. Download the app and use promo code SNF when you sign up.
Here he is throwing in the middle. It's caught by Watson. Jordan Love, muito amor no passe pro Christian Watson. Jalen Hurts em profundidade. AJ Brown. Go Birds! Touchdown! Green Bay Packers.
Every Brazil tease makes me want to just like bop and start dancing. Okay, we're getting set for kickoff in Corinthians Arena. And a little bit earlier, the Eagles' big addition, Saquon Barkley, stopped to have a chat with Jack.
So Saquon, after 6 years in New York, you're now back home in Pennsylvania. What feels different for you?
I mean, I'm just super excited for the opportunity. Blessed to be here, blessed to be in Brazil. It should be a fun game, so I'm excited to go out there and finally get things rolling.
How has this experience compared to what you thought it might be like coming down here?
It's been great. The culture here is amazing. They've been so nice to us. So now, obviously, you can see the environment right now, too. So it's our time to put on a show for them.
Really appreciate your time, man. Best of luck tonight.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Hey, I am so happy for Saquon Barkley. I'm a Giants fan, okay? And I'm just telling you, he is a superstar player, and now he's finally got the support he needs. Good for Saquon.
He's got that money.
He got that, too.
7th season, 2-time Pro Bowler. I can't wait to see what he does here tonight. It's time now for tonight's home team picks, brought to you by Lowe's. America's pick, 52% of America. We're a little split here between the Eagles and the Packers. They're going with the Eagles. How about that? Meanwhile, the rest of us, how are we faring? Wow.
Okay.
We are riding hard for Go Pack Go. Jason Garrett not here getting prepared for the Notre Dame game, but he's rolling with the Eagles alongside Tony Dungy. What are the expectations that we have to seeing this Eagles offense under Kellen Moore? We're going to learn a lot today.
We're going to learn a lot. I think that's why I'm picking the Packers. I think the Eagles are super talented and really good, but I just got to see that offense and the defense first before I take them.
I'm excited to see the offense. A lot of weapons. What I want to see is, how does Vic Fangio come in with this defense? He's an older coach. A lot of talk about that last year in Miami. Right. How does it mesh with this Eagles defense?
Meanwhile, Jack Tony Rodney, I mean, I know that Coach Dungy, he doesn't like the fact he doesn't see starters in the preseason, so we know that we're going to learn a lot here today. Coach, what do you think is going to be our biggest takeaway after this game ends?
Well, Maria, I want to see what's going to happen in the fourth quarter. How are these teams going to respond without playing their starters very much in the preseason? Is there going to be mental fatigue, physical fatigue? Who's going to make the fewest mistakes in the fourth quarter?
Coach, I think a big storyline will be the Packers' small defensive line against that mammoth offensive line of the Eagles. Will they be able to stop the run in Saquon Barkley?
And, you know, we talked to both teams, and everybody on defense is talking about blitz, aggressive, coming after them. I think we're going to see some physicality.
The Packers spent a ton of money on the defensive side of the ball, especially in the secondary. Will they be able to hold up against A.J. Brown, Devontae? We'll see.
Yep. And the other side of the coin is the same way. The Packers, they put pressure on you, and we'll see what happens because Jordan Love is a monster.
And really excited about seeing defense coordinator Jeff Hafley and how aggressive will he call a game, and will he match up Jair on the number one receiver, which is A.J. Brown.
Can't wait, Maria.
We can't wait. You guys enjoy it. And meanwhile, listen, Jordan Love, we know what to expect now. He's got expectations right now.
He's got expectations. He's got Josh Jacobs to hand the ball off, create the defense to creep up, throw it over the top. So this should be fun. I'm pumped that these two teams
It might be explosive tonight.
All right.
And this new studio was amazing, too.
You heard our home team picks brought to you by Lowe's. Now we'll get you home to Brazil, the first ever NFL game being played in South America, Corinthians Arena. You are game 2 of the NFL 2024 season.
This has been the Hyundai Kickoff. Spanish language audio provided by Telemundo Deportes, or watch tonight's game in Spanish on Peacock.